So what do you think about Celtic winning the league this year? Do you think it's one of the better teams you've seen?
No one of the better teams. No, definitely not.
No.
But you see, what we're doing here, we're buying players and getting rid of players. That's no the Celtic that we and Willie, definitely isn't.
You players there for quite a few years,
yes.
And they became...
Well, get way back there, me and Willie, we've been going to the party for about 70 years now. That's a long time. Right.
And the games we have seen.
And the games we've seen a lot of great games. European Cups, Scottish Cups.
There's no many games we haven't seen. We've seen the good and the bad. And the teams we have seen, John McPhail, Charles Tully, all these players.
Billy McPhail, Willie Fairley.
You know, you couldn't replace them now. These are outstanding players that played for the jersey.
Yeah.
Now we've got players in, they get well paid. You don't know if they're going to kick the ball or not kick the ball. And it's very unfair for the people this season.
Well, a lot of the guys just come to Celtic just as a stepping stone.
Yes.
And at one time it was for a career.
Aye, well that was true. You know, they played for Celtic, they played for the jersey. You know what I mean? And in these days, with the Kellys and the Whites, well, what's destroyed Celtic? They destroyed Celtic. So then they were rebuilding Hampden, right? And what did they do? Celtic put so many thousand into rebuilding Hampden. But what did they do? They made it the Rangers.
They covered the Rangers in.
So what happens? We're left out in the cold and the wet and the rain and everything.
They turned around and made the excuse Hampden. The Celtic end was too big to cover. They didn't have enough money, as usual. But they could cover the Rangers.
No, because Celtic put that money into the Rangers. But 100,000, I think.
Oh, I'm more than that.
And they built that old shed, you know. But that was the best thing they ever done. Because see, every time they jumped, the stool and everything went off. And they all came out here as black as ace of spades, you know.
I've got with me James from the Emerald Isle.
Yeah.
So tell us a wee bit about the Emerald Isle.
We get really busy before the games and especially after the games with Claymore playing. They played in here many years, 12 years at least. It's a great bar. The clientele come from far and wide, so do they. Try and be consistent with the music we play.
Yes.
You know, and it's what it says on the front shop basically. It's a tin of beans, isn't it, really, the Emerald Isle, you know. It's a Celtic shop, so it's Celtic songs we play, you know. Bar staff are obviously hard working. They need to work hard.
You're good bar staff.
Brilliant, brilliant. Honestly, between Andy and Jackie and Jade, myself, we seem to do no too bad, you know. If anything, we can probably get too busy, you know. So it's something that we need to keep an eye on as well, you know. Capacity levels and stuff like that, you know. The bar itself is just about to go under a wee bit of reconstruction. So it is, yeah, it's going to be like Monday coming, right? So it's going to change a few things. One of the reasons that we'd want to visit the Emerald Isle is because the prices have got to be the best in the area.
Exactly.
In fact, I believe they are. You know, and that does keep repeat customers coming back. You know, the area itself, as most folk will probably be aware, is going under a bit of construction itself because of the Commonwealth Games coming up pretty soon.
You won't be losing the atmosphere of the pub, but because it's a great atmosphere in here.
No. It's one of the best things we've actually got is the atmosphere. Even on many occasions actually, when there isn't any home game at all, you know. For some odd reason we just maybe go that extra wee bit, whatever, to please whoever's coming and going, you know. You know, and we can only do our best, to be honest with you as well, you know. So, we don't get it right all the time, but more often than not we do.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Well, James, brilliant talking to you, and you know, you really, I mentioned Gallowgate's #1 Irish pub, but it says it above the pub. It really is a fantastic pub.
Yeah. I really appreciate that. Everybody's basically made to feel welcome here, like, you know.
Fantastic, James. I'll let you get back to serving and keeping the punters happy.
Well done, well done.
You see, going back years ago, right, the Spruce and all that, and that other one, what do you call him? Scott Simon and all that, right?
Bowler Hartman.
They were all bowler Hartman.
Definitely.
They were the same as Falkirk Mall. All them that sat in the Falkirk stand were all bowler Hartman. You got me?
Dignified.
Aye. Oh, aye. But, see, they came, they say, oh, we've never been a sectarian club. They've always been a sectarian club. But they go back to the days when Alec Ferguson played for them. So they found out that Alec Ferguson's mother was a Catholic. So she got the sack, and another pal of hers got the sack. And they told Alec Ferguson, where did he go? Playing for the Rangers third team, playing the likes of the cleansing department.
He wouldn't leave because they weren't going to pay him. And he says, I'm here to my contract's finished. Where he is like it. They couldn't do anything about it. And he played against a Glasgow football club. One of the top amateurs clubs. He played against them, and that was the second him, so they would walk out the door. This is the kind of things they've done. And MD eyebrows. You don't hear that much after they've left. There was only one person I can remember that ever brought it up, was Ralph Brand. He brought it up, some of the things that happened. But, saw that. Knuckle crack.
When they investigated Alec Ferguson's mother now, right, they get out the door, her pal out the door, right? There was no sectarian, he says, but they bagged her because she was a Roman Catholic. But Alec Ferguson's mother, she married a Protestant. That was all Alec Ferguson. But he had a brother, right, Martin Ferguson. He played for Thistle, but he was a right Ranger supporter. And they always phrase that Alec Ferguson kicked the ball up against the Rangers wall.
Untrue.
Up at Ibrox, a load of rubbish.
Untrue.
But Alec Ferguson's dad became the secretary of the Govan Windsor Celtic Supporters Club. Now, it was one of the first clubs in Glasgow. In 1947, originated in 1947, was the Glasgow Windsor Celtic Supporters Club, right? And his dad became the secretary. And I had a photo, God rest my brother's soul, them all in it, and my brother was in it. All Alec Ferguson and young Alec Ferguson. But I lent that photo out a big pal of mine.
Didn't get it right.
Wait a minute, I lent that photo out because Alec Ferguson's dad was a timekeeper in Fairfield. Right. So Big Johnson worked in Fairfield, and he says, oh, I can tell you all about it. No, it wasn't me. But that all went down. He says, I'll bring a photo and I'll show you it and I'll prove it. You and your son is in that photo. So I gave him my photo. He asked me for a loan. I gave him it. Right. What happened? Never got it back to this day. But he's dead now, you know what I mean? I can't say no. Never got it back to this day.
Jim, about the time we went down to Newcastle, Ronnie Simpson's testimonial.
Right. I went down there.
What a day we had down there. We get beat with Newcastle that day. But see, after it, we thought Celtic had won. Celtic supporters, Newcastle supporters. They all met and they're all having a good time.
Aye.
And a great day it was. We went early in the morning, we come back and early the next morning, and we've had some great times. Same as Falkirk, Michael. Charles Patrick.
2 goals. The corner kick.
Right, excellent.
The referee scored the goal. The corner kick, the referee chopped it up. Take it out again. Done the same thing again.
The ball again?
Yes.
Aye.
Put the ball in it.
Aye.
The referee, if the referee could have scrubbed that, he'd have done it.
Aye.
But it would have been too blatant.
Aye.
But you're never going to change the system at Hampden Park. Well, you've got the Masonic, the knuckle cracker, and it's full of it. And they tell you, that doesn't go on. We're fair-minded people. How fair-minded are they when they're giving Rangers everything to keep them in the league? So, as far as I'm concerned, see the whole lot of Hampden should all get investigated and prosecuted. Every one of them. There's no a good one among the lot. And we've got an Englishman up there dictating to us. We invented the football. They're dictating to us how to play it. It's beyond the truth.
Look at it this way. When we went down only for wee Fergus McCann, what happened? They were in their glory that we were going out the game and they were having parties and everything. Aye.
But that's always been their way of life. The first thing they always say, God save the Queen. The Queen wants nothing to do with them. Look at the time they went down to Manchester, nearly killed 2 police officers, washed under the police force. They're all the same, the rostered off the same stick. You're never going to change it. Never change it in our days. Me and Michael's day, never change a thing.
Right, we've got James here. James is one of the characters in the pub. A great guy.
Quiet person.
Quiet person.
Man, quiet man.
I don't think I'll get any words though from here. So.
No, I don't speak much.
Don't
Just
speak.
sing a lot, Bully. Sing a lot.
So how are you, James?
I'm not too bad, Bully.
Good,
No
good.
bad. All the better for seeing you, my man.
Brilliant.
All the
Same
better.
here. Same here. So what have you been up to?
Having a small refreshment now and again,
That's
you know. But I'm here for a nice day today.
Good.
I'm drinking in here about 5 years.
Aye.
5 years now, yes. It's the best wee pub in the Gallowgate.
Aye.
Great entertainment.
Aye.
Great crack with the boys.
Brilliant.
Oh.
Brilliant.
Smashing pub.
When did you come in?
I'm only on the door.
on the door?
That's fine. I was watching the Celtic on
Right.
the telly,
Aye,
so I'm late coming in today.
Right.
Normally I'm half drunk at this time, so I'll last a wee bit longer.
Brilliant. I'll let you get back to your pint.
Hey, bother.
Great talking to you again, James, and it's always a pleasure.
Thanks very much, Bully. You're a gentleman and a class act.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
Thank you, Bully.
And I don't understand this 5 stars they've got in their shirt. Nobody can ever answer that. What's their 5 stars? What does it mean? They tell you, oh, we won the league.
Is this for the 50 times?
Aye. What
How
league?
many times did they get gifted a week?
You had the Dallases and all that. You had the Tiny Whartons going back years ago.
Yeah.
You had them Jack Mowats. That Tiny Wharton couldn't run from here to there. Now I remember when Neil Malcolm scored the goal.
Come back
At the back of the stanchion, and it came back out, he's gone like that.
Play on.
There you go, play on.
Play on.
That was
Aye,
that
because
Tiny Wharton.
he wasn't up with a play, never seen it.
They can't get up with the place too far.
You want to see him?
You know,
The gentle
too
giant, they
slow.
call it.
Right, we've got Jackie from behind the bar here. Hi, Jackie. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good. It's always good to come in and see a nice, happy, smiling face, and you're always assured that in the Emerald Isle.
Thank you.
So, tell us a wee bit about the place.
It amazes me the amount of people who come from all different places to come into the pub week in, week out. You know, one guy's an hour and 20 minutes in the bus
Right.
to come in. Like other people come for Airdrie, they come for Govan Hill. It just amazes me the amount of what we call our regulars.
Yes.
But they travel so far to come in.
It's getting renovated,
Yep.
so you better not lose the atmosphere of the place.
No, we will not.
Good,
we
that's
will not.
good. Well, it's brilliant talking to you. I'll let you get back to serving the punters. Thank you very much. Cheers. Bye.
They won 9 in a row. Many managers had they won 9 in a row. 3. Many managers at Celtic they won 9 in a row. 1. Jokestein. Hey, they don't come away with that. They don't give Big Steen any credit for that.
And he knew all the ins and outs about the systems. And he could get away with it. The referees, because the referees couldn't try to kid him on, because I dare say a lot of things happened up the tunnel that you'll never hear about. When Steen went up and something a bad decision and Steen threw it, Celtic get robbed of the goal or what. You never hear about it. You never seen Steen want to fight or anything, make any excuses. Wait to see this.
Right, we've got a visitor. We've got a visitor to the pub. Very distinguished man here, the Laird of Auchenshoogle. How are you?
I'm fairly middling today. I'm absolutely. As a matter of fact, I'm better than 30 middling. I'm feeling good.
That's good. That's good. So, what brings you here?
Well, I'd just like to do a wee East End pub tour of a Saturday.
Yeah.
And meet the punters, have a laugh and a joke.
Yeah.
Sometimes talk politics.
Yeah.
Sometimes just talk nonsense. You know. But whatever the mood is, that's what we do.
That's good. That's good. You have any stories to tell me?
Well, I could draw your attention to a lot of Celtic fans who may come along London Road, approaching the stadium just by the Celtic Social Club, and you might see a wall plastered with, you might call it graffiti. But it's a young artist, not so young now, JD. And the story behind this is, if the people can remember Lady Di's mother,
Yes.
her house when she was away one time was burgled, and the police were misinformed about JD, so he was accused of without any word. They raided his house one night, tore it apart, wrecked it, dug up his garden, and generally abused him with a small A. Got to be said, right?
Yeah.
And from that day to this day, he said no recompense. No lawyers will take his case. Them who did take his case mysteriously abandoned it. Papers went missing. Files went missing. The police said that he had abandoned the case. It's not. The wee man is still fighting, and they're trying to a new track with him. They're actually telling them now that they're taking no more to do under some section of the law.
Yeah.
They can ignore him. The wee man's still fighting, and I say, come on, JD, don't let them win. Keep fighting.
The Laird of Auchenshoogle.
A very good friend of the mystery Tim, who we shall possibly meet on another occasion.
Right. Thank you very much, and it was a
Okay, young
pleasure
man.
speaking to you.
God
Thank
bless
you.
you.
God bless you.
That's Johnny Thompson. Benny Lynch, which was my last cousin. Benny Lynch is gone now, you know. And he's buried up in St Kentigern. At the back end, see, come in the Balmore
The
Road.
back end. The cadder. Away at the back.
You come in the Balmore Road and you used to, I don't know if it's still getting in there, used to come in there and you turn right and went up the hill. And there's big tombstones on the right hand side. Benny Lynch.
A young man when he died.
Yeah, aye. Well, Benny Lynch was taking out the Govan model, Napier Street model, because he was full of the drink and all the rest of it. That's the reason Benny Lynch died. But Benny Lynch used to give people a wee half a croon, which is a lot of money nowadays, to go a wee message here and there. But it was in that model. His wife's name was Anne Docherty. She'd a hairdressers in Govan, and the Govan Road across the Fairfield shipyard. You know, that's where she had the hairdressers. But she went to Canada. Well, I don't know what's ever happened there. But I know that the stone get done up. It all get done up, the same as Johnny Thompson's stone in Carden. I've seen him.
You've got the Celtic Grave Society now.
Aye, and his stones are big. His stones are up to the ceiling, same as Benny Lynch. The Celtic Football Club reburnished all that stone for him. Had a photo of that and all. We were 3 years on that stone, you know. Get the photo to him. Benny Lynch in Carden.
It's a different way of life now. In your days, football, people love football. And they didn't go about want to fight and all that carry on. See, now, it's a different way of life. And the people that cause it, they walk away from it.
Another happened. So his dad died one time. They wouldn't bury his dad. So his dad used to walk along the road. He used to call. He used to look down to the pavement. And his dad was lying at the old table. So that's no help. They go up and touch. They green ladies were. What about your father? What about him? When are you burying him? We're not burying him. You're big in the mouse, who's burying him? So they take him away up to the poor grave, up Creighton Cemetery. And that was a time, it used to put it was a big bolt, a big deep hole in the ground. It used to launch him down, right? And a truck would come with so many in it.
Pauper's grave.
And they called it the Pauper's grave. But the truck came with the lime and that, opened up, shoveled it in, and that was it. Then they built the crematorium.
Irish Hall at the bottom of the street. Want to see it. Everybody was happy. 3/4 of the street was all carpeted. The shorter end that got in the top was all the other crowd. And you never get them walking down the street. They walked down the other side and the line. They wouldn't walk down the street. And that was it.
Stay walking. At Orkney Street prison, right? Orkney Street used to bang them into the cells and all that. You know, the Juki van, bang. So that shut up in there. Right, shut up. And it became Ellen Street. Right. That's a secure
prison.
That's for all the terrorists. Rudolph Hess. He was in there.
Once he gave himself up. So they put him in there at such time the British government could find a place to retain him. And what was good for him?
Rudolph Hess went down in Eagleson. His plane went down in Eagleson. And the second farm come along the Fenwick Muir, turn right and out your left and out the Eagles. Yeah. Right? And the second farm, that's where Rudolph Hess playing. So that's where he was. But they take him from there to Orkney Street cells. And they take him out of there and put him somewhere else. And they take him out of there shipped him to what do you call it, Sandham prison or something. He was the only guy that was in that prison.
In Spandau.
Aye. He's the only guy. And you'd the Americans watching him, the Russians watching him, you'd the British watching him, and somebody else watching him, you know. That guy says he was come to make peace. Hitler's had sent him to make peace with Britain. I don't know that.
It's a strange one, isn't it?
Aye, it's a strange one.
See, the problem was he didn't like to set up after a couple of years of the war, and the guy just says, I'm the one that.
No, he says that Hitler sent him.
And they got a plane.
No, Hitler gave him well, he says that Hitler had gave him a plane. Right. Hitler had given him a plane and papers and all that to go and make peace with Britain. He didn't want to fight Britain. What he wanted, Hitler wanted Britain to join the Germans and fight the Russians.
Right.
And it was the Americans weren't involved in anything because the Americans only came into the war in Pearl Harbor. You see, that's when they all joined together. But the Americans were fighting the Japanese, no the Germans. But Churchill got them involved. Churchill got the Americans involved to fight the Germans because he couldn't take it. He couldn't. Britain had nothing. But he needed this and he needed that, and that's when the Americans sent them out tanks, boats, ships, everything.
Right. I've got Davey here, one of the clientele for Emerald Isle. Hi Davey, how are you, mate?
I'm brand new, mate. I'm brand new.
What do you think about the pub?
I've been drinking here for years. It's a good pub.
Aye.
It's brand new. Everybody's friendly. Everybody in the pub knows each other.
Aye.
So we're all pals and we're all friends. So, but anybody that comes in, they're more than welcome in the pub.
Aye.
And they'll be more or less a friend. If they come in, they will be a friend. They'll be brand new, mate. They'll be brand new.
Yeah, it is a good pub. Have you any wee stories about the place that you can tell?
My barman Jane, I used to work with him. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. He makes the pub lively and all.
Aye.
He makes the pub lively. And his wee wife's brand new and all.
Aye. Well, brilliant. It's good talking to you.
On the hook.
Come on, the hoops. God bless you. God bless you.
Man.
Cheers.
Thanks very much.